It was supposed to be a quiet evening, just me, my laptop, and a long overdue report. The old farmhouse I had rented for the month was perfect for focus, tucked away in the woods, miles from any distractions. The first 2 weeks were peaceful, but tonight, something felt off. The wind howled through the trees, rattling the old window panes. I brushed it off as nothing more than the usual creaks of an aging house. The clock struck 11, and the glow from my laptop screen was the only light in the room. The power had flickered earlier, so I was relying on the laptop's battery to finish up. I heard it first, a faint sound, like someone walking on gravel. My heart skipped a beat, but I told myself it was just an animal. After all, this place was surrounded by woods. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. I got up, walked to the window, and peered out into the darkness. The porch light barely illuminated the driveway, but I saw nothing. No movement, no shapes, just the empty night. I exhaled, laughing at my paranoia, but then it happened again. This time, the sound was closer, like someone was on the porch. My throat tightened. The logical part of me screamed, "It's the wind, or maybe a raccoon." But the primal part, the part that keeps you alive, whispered, "Lock the doors." I did just that. Every lock in the house, every window, even the old cellar door in the kitchen, I secured them all. Feeling a bit more at ease, I returned to my laptop. The sound came again, now unmistakable. Slow, deliberate footsteps, moving from one side of the house to the other. My chest tightened, and I held my breath, straining to hear over the pounding of my heart. Suddenly, the motion-activated porch light flicked on. My blood ran cold. I didn't move, didn't even blink, as I stared at the shadow cast on the far wall by the light. Someone or something was standing just outside the window. I fought the urge to scream and slowly reached for my phone, only to remember it was on the kitchen counter, out of reach. My laptop was closer. I typed "help" into the search bar, my hands trembling too much to think clearly. The light went off, plunging me back into darkness. The silence was deafening. I couldn't tell if whoever or whatever it was had gone. Minutes felt like hours until I heard it again. A faint tapping on the glass behind me. I spun around, my heart pounding so hard it hurt. The window was just a dark void, reflecting my terrified face and the dim glow of the laptop. Nothing was there. Then the power came back on. The sudden brightness was blinding, and I flinched. But when my eyes adjusted, I saw it. On the window pane, just at the edge of the light, was a single handprint. It was too large to be mine and smudged, as though whoever left it had pressed their fingers down with unnatural force. I didn't wait to find out what it meant. Grabbing my phone, my keys, and nothing else, I bolted out the back door, jumped into my car, and sped off. I didn't look back. The next day, I returned with a friend to collect my things. The handprint was gone, but in the dirt outside the window, there were footprints. Bare, human-like footprints leading into the woods. And they didn't stop. They just disappeared. I had never been afraid of being alone at night. It was something I was used to, living alone in my small apartment on the outskirts of town, where the only sounds were the occasional hoot of an owl or the distant hum of a passing car. But tonight was different. It started with the light in my hallway. It had been flickering for weeks, and I'd been too lazy to fix it. I made a mental note to deal with it tomorrow as I clicked off the TV and headed to bed. As I brushed my teeth, the flickering seemed more erratic. The soft hum of the fluorescent bulb pulsed in uneven intervals, like it was struggling to stay alive. I glanced down the hallway, and for a split second, I thought I saw a shadow move across the wall. I froze, toothbrush halfway to my mouth. "It's nothing," I muttered to myself. "Just the shadows playing tricks." But the unease settled in my stomach, heavy and cold. I turned off the bathroom light and walked to my bedroom. The hallway light continued to flicker, casting strange patterns on the walls. As I reached my door, I heard it, a faint creak, like someone stepping on a loose floorboard. I stopped, heart pounding, and listened. Nothing. I told myself it was the old wooden floor expanding or contracting with the temperature change. Still, I locked my bedroom door before crawling into bed, something I hadn't done in months. As I lay there, Staring at the ceiling, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. The house felt too quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears and makes you hyper-aware of every little sound. Then the light outside my bedroom door went out. The darkness was suffocating, and the silence seemed to stretch on forever. I told myself it was the bulb finally giving up. But then came the knock. A single deliberate knock on my bedroom door. I shot upright, my breath caught in my throat. My mind raced. Had I locked the front door? Did I check the windows? Another knock, louder this time. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling. No answer. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, pointing it toward the door. My hands shook as I tiptoed closer. "Whoever it is, I'm calling the police," I shouted, trying to sound braver than I felt. Silence. Then, slowly, the doorknob began to turn. I screamed, backing away as the door creaked open. The light from my phone illuminated the empty hallway. There was no one there. But before I could even catch my breath, the flickering light turned back on. And for a brief moment, just at the edge of the shadows, I saw it. A figure impossibly tall, with long, clawed fingers and hollow eyes that seemed to absorb the light. It tilted its head as if studying me before the light went out again. I didn't stay to find out what it wanted. I grabbed my keys, ran out of the apartment, and didn't look back. I never went back to that place. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear the faint hum of a flickering light and wonder if it's found me.